Hi, everyone. I told you guys I'm going to try to do some live crafting. I haven't been feeling really great, but I said I'm going to do it anyway. So here I am. Here I am. So I'm going to work on taking some books apart because I have a couple junk journal orders. People have messaged me and want them. So, I don't normally when I would ever, I'll make along with you guys. I'm not a big, um, I'm not a big seller of my junk journals because they take me so long to make. But this friend of mine wants one, so a bunch of stuff. So it's all good. And I hope you guys, we upped our spectrum. I hope it actually works. I can't even tell you if it is or not. I cannot tell you if it's going to work or not. But what are you guys doing on this lovely Tuesday night? So I told you guys before I'm going to do Tuesdays, Fridays, and maybe Sundays. I am I got some projects. I've got some projects that I have to get done. And I think that we are possibly going away for a week or so. So I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try. I may change my Sunday to a Saturday. Also, kind of depends upon Blake's work schedule because we've got all this stuff to do for this crazy house, which we love. But it's just a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So, and inevitably somebody will tell me that I didn't let them know, which I'm so sorry. That's not ever my intention to leave anyone out. So thanks for the thumbs up. Hi, Francis. Hi, Barb. Hey, Jen. How are you? And I haven't, for those of you that bought stuff from me on Sunday, I have not done your invoices. I will try and get them done tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm just going to take some books apart and everything. So tell me what's on your crafty table. Tell me what's on your crafty table. And I hope my internet's good. So we upgraded our internet and then it didn't work at all. So it's been crazy. How many of you guys have had this book? I have had this book. I've made a few junk journals out of it. It is a Reader's Digest, North American Birds. And the owl one is a kind of a harder one to find. You can usually find it with an eagle. But I've had a couple of them, and I've had this one in my stash for a long time, and I started putting papers in it, and then I let it go. And then you know how things get by you. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work on all the spines of all these. And I've got a stack of Reader's Digest here that I'm going to work on. So tell me what's going on with you guys. I want to hear. And all you lurkers say, hey. So I had a bunch of cool stuff happened today. Haven't been feeling very good. So guys, I ate some ridiculously spicy food, which I love spicy food. And I usually have no problems at all with spicy food. You're no hurry. The employee says, okay, so this is what happened. We had to take my daughter to, and I'm going to do this one. This one's going to be a junk journal too. I got 3 of these. I think this one's from like the 50s. It's a super heavy book. So it is I think it was more like an encyclopedia kind of book, but I wanted it for the cover. This one is from 1960. But the first one in this series, it looks like, came from 1938. So I'm going to make a junk journal out of that too. And have a whole stack of Reader's Digest, which I love because the covers are kind of, they're cool. And, if you know anything about the that time, a lot of the covers were there was hand screened. Isn't that cool? So I'm just going to cut them all out and then reinforce the spine. The only bad thing about these, I'm going to shut my door. Hang on, you guys. The only bad thing about these is when the glue gets really dry, it is in the binding, it's super stiff. So back to my ridiculous health story. So I took my daughter for her spring break, went to Boston to visit some family. And we had to drive her. Unfortunately, it happened right around the time when there was a snowstorm. So instead of us being able to just leave right from Asheville, we had to drive her all the way to Charlotte. And I think I've mentioned this many times about my sister used to live in Charlotte. And I wanted to go eat at this restaurant that I'd had the best beet burger, and you heard me right, beet, that I've ever had. And I spent one year I went to see my sister and she took me to this restaurant. And she's mostly vegetarian. I'm not, but I have to tell you, I liked that beet burger so much that I went home and tried for months and months and months to master it. Didn't happen. Anyway, so whatever happened was her plane, we ended up not being able to go to that restaurant, and we both love Indian food. And they have some great Indian food in Charlotte. So I just Googled Indian food, and we went to this little restaurant where you couldn't even sit down. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Lace. Hey, Leslie. We couldn't even sit down. And it was one of those, we ordered it and had to sit in the parking lot. And the food was so good, but it was so spicy. And you guys, that sort of triggered a bladder thing for me, which I'd never had happen. And it triggered one for Blake initially, but he got over his. You guys, he eats spicy food like DEFCON 4 hot. I wouldn't normally take this out, but it is so pokey that whatever I sew, I'm not even going to be able to sew into it. Anyway, so he felt the ramifications of the hot and spicy food, but I felt it, and it felt like I had a UTI. I mean, I've never had spicy food affect me that way. So I thought that I was getting a bladder infection. So I got the homeopathic bladder infection medicine that has worked for me in the past, and took it. You're only supposed to take it 3 or 4 days. And I felt better. Well, fast forward the week later, we went to pick her up and she flew into Asheville. She didn't fly into Charlotte. And we took her to a Thai restaurant. You guys, I got a Thai salad and it wasn't even that hot. You guys, I have been having this bladder issue ever since then. So I've had it for a couple of weeks. And just when I think I'm better, I stopped taking the medicine and I'm not. So it kind of wears you out. So I'm on this bland, ridiculous bladder diet, which is basically eating nothing. Hey, Blake, will you bring me some water so I can wash my paintbrushes out? Oh, water. Yeah. Thank you. I got all the way up here with no water, with no container for water. So anyway, it's kind of wearing me out. And so I'm on this bland diet. I'm really, honestly, I'm not really eating much of anything except eggs, scrambled eggs. Is that ridiculous? Because everything else kind of upsets my stomach along with, because I'm taking all these homeopathic things, and usually homeopathy works really great for me. Because you guys, I don't really take anything. I have to tell you, it's wearing me out. So needless to say, I had all the best intentions. I wasn't feeling good at the sale on Sunday, and I had the best intentions to finish all my invoices yesterday, but I didn't. Guys, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I was so worn out. We have all this stuff that we're trying to. It's getting a little bit warmer here. You guys do this with smaller scissors, and I'm not worried about cutting the spine. And if I do, I'll just repair it. because I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep this book as it is. And sometimes you can really mess it up by cutting through the spine with an X-Acto knife. That's why I try to use scissors. So there you go. Some spices aren't agreeing with your system. Definitely. So I'm not eating, you guys, I'm like on the blandest diet. I have had like hardly, I mean, I've just been drinking like water and electrolytes. And I told you about our friend with the crazy chickens and all that. So we have like this inordinate amount of eggs, which I'm grateful for because it's just him and he doesn't really eat eggs. It always baffles me when people have chickens and then they don't eat eggs, and he doesn't sell eggs. Whatever, letting it go. Not my monkey, right? Not my circus. Anyways, so Blake works with him, and he's been doing a bunch of IT stuff over there. And see how gummy this is? This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes old books. See how gummy that glue is? But you see how stiff it is? Like if I wanted to sew, I wouldn't be able to get a needle through it. So I'm taking it off, and I'm going to put one of these used priority mail envelopes, which I love. I've used it. It has my old address and everything on it. Thank you. No, I mean, I need it in a jar. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just water. Wash my paintbrush out, and I just didn't want to put it. It doesn't matter.
That'll clean good. I just thought.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, so we have like probably currently in our refrigerator, and I already boiled a dozen of them today because Blake loves egg salad. We probably have, I think he brought home a dozen today, and he brought home a dozen yesterday. We probably have like
It just went from laying 5 eggs a day to now they laid 11 today.
They laid 11 eggs
11
today?
in one day.
He's saying they went from 5 to 11. So I've been making.
Now it's 11.
I have been making myself scrambled eggs or omelets every day because it's fine. It works with me. So, but also too, then I eat them all. It's so ridiculous. The problem with antibiotics and mace, yeah, I don't even want to get started. It's like I usually this is going to sound so ridiculous, but I usually when I take antibiotics, guess what? I get a UTI. It's like my body, I don't know. My body and I got to have a talk. So, yeah. Or I get some kind of crazy yeast infection from antibiotics. Guys, I try not to, I know that it probably goes against what some of you do. And, it's like, I just know my body so well. It's like I try not to take anything so that when I actually have to, you know what I mean? It works. As a kid, I was like pumped I had so many like tonsillitis and all that stuff when you were a kid. And I was pumped with so much penicillin and all kinds of stuff like that, yeah. One of my friends told me after I feel better, I need to do a cleanse. I was like, I think just drinking water and eating eggs works. Egg custard is good, but you know what, Kathy? I don't even eat sugar. But I did make this really cool. So I made, like last week, I batch cooked. How many of you guys batch cook? Guys, I have had, my oldest daughter is 30. So let's just say that I've been cooking for more than 30 years because, I cook for myself, right? When I left home when I was 17. So I've always cooked for myself, but cooking for a family is like a whole different ball of wax. So, and look, you guys, I did split it right there, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it because I'm going to cover it with this Tyvek but it has like this bump in it, and I don't know how to get it out without cutting it. Sometimes, you know what? That's why it doesn't bother me sometimes to buy books when the spines are totally out of them, because you just rebuild it anyway. I mean, I do like it if I can keep the original spines. But this one's like a little bit. Guys, I've had this book. I brought it with me from Hawaii because I made a couple of these journals before with this owl. With this book, this Reader's Digest. It is kind of a long book, so it does get pretty hefty. But I'm just trying to like at least get it down to where if I decide to sew or do any like sort of decorative thing, I'm not running into these big patches of dried glue. Your friend Shelley says any start back. Okay, so I batch cooked last week. Okay, because for me, you guys, can I tell you, I don't want to think about what we're going to eat every day. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to like get to the end of my day, and I'm glad I really did because this week I felt like crap. So last week I batch cooked. So batch cooking means you just cook like one whole day, right? Yeah, Kathy, I use monk fruit. I do. I will try to make some. I did make something yesterday that it could have been a sweet, but I made it a savory. I made like a cauliflower souffle. It's actually really good. I didn't think it was going to be, but it was. So last week I batch cooked for us to eat this week. I did chicken curry, and obviously I'm not eating it. Blake and Seisha are. I did chicken curry. I did a meatloaf. I did like this stew that they like. And I roasted a whole bunch of vegetables so that I could, saute them at the very end and heat them up with some chicken breasts. So I marinated some chicken breasts and I roasted the vegetables. I made a whole bunch of hard boiled eggs. This is probably the second or third time I made them so that he can have an egg salad sandwich or mix it with something else. And I made spaghetti sauce. I made like a marinara. Well, actually, I made a bolognese sauce with sausage and ground meat. So for me, what batch cooking meant was for my curry always tastes better the second day anyway. I browned all of the chicken and I had already roasted some cauliflower and then I just sauteed some onions and then chopped the vegetables that I was going to put in there. I chopped them and I roasted them too in olive oil and garlic in the oven. And then I made my curry sauce on the side and then I just mixed it all together and put it in a casserole dish and put it in the fridge. But you could put it in the freezer. So that way, by the time they go to cook it, you only have to heat it up for like, 30 minutes and it's done. Or you could heat it up longer. So I batch cooked that. I made my spaghetti sauce. Guys, I love an Instapot. I was never a big Instapot fan. I was always a big traditional pressure cooker fan because I've had them for a long time. This mail came from Miss Cassandra Williams. Let's see what the date of it is. This tells you how long I keep my... You guys, look at this. This tells you how long I keep my envelopes. This came May 25th, 2018. Tells you how long I recycle my priority mail envelopes. So I brown all the meat, the onions. Well, I brown it first, and then add the onions so the onions don't burn. And I add garlic at the very end. And then I make my own homemade sauce. And you guys, I make it with you can buy those huge cans. I know this probably doesn't sound like appetizing, but it comes out great every time. Those huge cans of crushed tomatoes that you buy in the store, they're a couple dollars. I put 2 of them in my Instapot because I got a really big one this time. I think I have an 8-quart one. Add in the meat. And then I put a lot of spices. I add all kinds of dried Italian spices, parsley, oregano, whatever you want to put in it, basil. Don't put too much oregano because it can be really strong and overpower your stuff. And then I put it in the Instapot and I cook it for 10 minutes on a soup setting. And then I let it depressurize itself. And then you guys put it in the fridge. Let it totally cool down, put it in the fridge, and it's good to go. And it cooks really great. When Instapots first came out, I was kind of like, oh no. because I used to always have an old pressure cooker, like a Fagor pressure cooker, which I still love and I have. But I love it. So I made that. And that took no time. I mean, it took me the longest time everything took me was browning all the meat. When I had cut up all the vegetables for the curry. And then the same thing for the like kind of stewy thing that I made. I made it with pork because have you guys noticed, or is it just me, that the meat is like not rendering any fat? Hey, Cassandra, how are you, girl? Hey, Dana. Hey, how are you? Hey, Miss Laura. Hey, Kathy. Cassandra, this came from you. This was something you mailed to me in 2018. Is that funny? That's how long I've had this, and I brought it with me because I have a whole batch of these. I use them for I try to use them all for my junk journals. Maybe I'll just use the bigger piece from the other one instead of trying to get all that off. This has your name on it, Miss Cassandra. Isn't that funny? That is so funny. In 2018. Maybe it was when we did our power pack. I don't know. I won't show your thing, but like you can see your name. I told you guys I'm a serious recycler. I am a total serious recycler. So have you guys, is it just me? I mean, I cook all the time and I am very conscious of how much things have fat in them because I like the fat. The fat is what gives it the flavor. I have cooked meat and stuff where there's hardly any fat, and it's like ridiculous. Because then you have to add oil if there's no fat. Guys, this is glue from Hawaii. This is guys, I packed a box of my stuff. I was like, I'm not buying myself any more glue. I have glue. I have this PVA glue, but it does not stick to this Tyvek like Aleene's. So anyway, that's my ridiculous. And so then that's why I made the stew with pork, or it's sort of like a stew. Anyway, so I just did the similar thing. I browned the pork meat, and it was like big chunks, like, like cubed or something. I browned it, added my onions, my garlic, and then I added all the vegetables that I was going to put in it. And some of them I have roasted, and some of them, they were just like the bell peppers. I didn't do anything to. Things I've been roasting a lot that I think taste better roasted in something like that is like cauliflower. Broccoli does too. Things like really super soft vegetables like squash, I don't do that too. So then I put all my seasonings in it, and I put my sauce in it. And I also cooked it in the pressure cooker, but I cooked it less. I cooked it for like less than 5 minutes because I'm going to reheat it, and I didn't want the vegetables to be mush, and I'm not reheating it in a pressure cooker. But what I find with my pressure cooker, or with any pressure cooker, is that it sort of infuses the steam, or however the pressure infuses the flavor in the food. Almost like, because I'm from Texas, and that, like, did your grandmother ever, like, my grandmother would cook a pot of stew for like hours, or a pot of spaghetti sauce, or gumbo, or soups, or whatever. They always taste better like that. So that's what I batch cooked. And then for the teenager, because she takes her lunch every day, we also have like all kinds of mixed greens and stuff in the fridge. So Blake is a salader, you guys. He's like serious salader. Like, he gets like the serving salad bowl and makes himself salad. It's so ridiculous. So, and she takes her lunch every day. So I asked her what she wanted this week. She took curry with her one day. She said, because I told you guys she's going to an outdoor school. So she told me the other day, she goes, I like things that don't require utensils. I'm like, okay. But she doesn't want to take a sandwich. So I made her quesadillas. I got up in the morning and I made her a bunch of quesadillas to take with her to school. And then I made her like like biscuit sandwiches. Like where you just make a thing of biscuits and then you just put like chicken or whatever. Cheese. Like a breakfast sandwich, but you make it for lunch. So that's what I made her. So I probably cooked a total of 2 hours. Probably cooked a total of 2 hours. That includes prep time, included like washing all the vegetables and chopping them up and all the stuff that, that Blake might want in his salads and all that. And then we eat it all week. When more of the kids were home, I would batch cook a lot more, but that also gives you the freedom. Like if you don't, there's just the three of us. And so sometimes we have leftovers. But when my older kids were home, I used to like really cook a whole lot more, like batch cook for like an 8-hour day. Guys, I used to make homemade pasta and all kinds of craziness. I'm over that now, okay? What is Blake like in his salad? Everything. He likes the kitchen sink in his salad, Jamie. He is a salader, I'm telling you. He loves salad. What did we put? He had a salad today. Okay, so he put hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese, and I chopped up all these veggies. I chopped up like, I don't know, we have a couple containers. Well, I don't know if we do anymore. I don't know how much he's eaten. Bell peppers and mushrooms and carrots and that sort of thing. He loves cottage cheese. He makes it like I should take a picture of it sometime. He makes like a smorgasbord salad. I mean, it looks really good. Hey, Miss Malia, how are you, girl? Malia, I was just telling him I did not get my invoices done today because I actually just laid down most of the day. I did some laundry. I had all this laundry to do. I don't know how it always works out like that for me, but and all these we don't have a lot of towels out. I mean, I know we must have some boxes. So it seems like every time I go to take a shower, I'm like, where's the towel? So I got to go do a load of laundry. Eventually I'll get it all down where we have it all together, but yeah, I haven't been that good right now. So that's what I batch cook. But you guys, you can batch cook anything. I used to batch cook lasagna and eggplant parm and, that kind of thing. One of my kids was like such a baconer. I would batch cook bacon and then just reheat it really quickly in the morning because I couldn't possibly fry enough bacon. Nor did I want to smell like bacon going to work, to be honest. Nor did I want to smell like bacon all day. Hey, Kim, how are you, girl? So I'm just going to I'm going to just reinforce some spines on some junk journals I'm going to make, and we'll see how far I get along on them this week. I have a whole bunch of tea-dyed paper that I made, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Promised this friend of mine that this is when I lived in Hawaii, you guys, that I would make her a wedding book for her daughter. And you guys, I completely forgot about it. And so I had a tea dyed, I feverishly tea dyed like a trillion sheets of paper, and then made her just a wedding. It was meant like a thing where people can write in guest book. But she also wanted to put like pictures of her daughter when she was little and pictures of them. And I think it came out good. But so like in the middle of my whole like moving ridiculousness, trying to get this house settled, one day they were like, "What are you doing?" I was tea dyeing paper. I was tea dyeing, and not just tea dyeing it, I was ironing it. That is when you know that it's bad. Can you guys hear my daughter's little cat? My daughter must have shut her room door, and the cat must not have been in there. That cat is so attached to her. So I'm going to let this one dry before I cut it off. And And I may go ahead and I don't know if I have any nice fabric, but if I do, I'll cover the spine with some fabric. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Kim. I'm sure I will. Guys, I think it's also just the exhaustion. Like, it just all kind of caught up with me. Like, I don't know. Like when you've been stressed for so long and then suddenly that's not there anymore, how you just like sort of exhale. I'll lay this one down here. Now, you guys, Blake was so sweet. He went the other day to a thrift store and he found me a bunch of Reader's Digest, which you don't really find around here. Where I was living in Hawaii, they were like plentiful, but here not so much. I'm not saying they're not at other thrift stores. It's just so he bought me some, so I have a couple to make. I text my daughter and tell her, come get your cat. So, yeah. I have been through a lot of stuff over this last year, but I'm telling you, girls, I'm ready for this year to be like the best year. This one was actually in really good condition. What's the year of it? In Hawaii, they were never always in good condition. Let's see. This one's 19. I think it says 84. Anyway. You buy Reader's Digest whenever you find them. You know what? I had so many when I left Hawaii. And somebody messaged me at one of my Let Go sales and said, how many Reader's Digest covers do you have? I had a lot. I mailed her a huge box of them. She bought a bunch of them for me. I mean, it's not something I would normally sell. It's just something I use, right? She was like, I said, I have a lot. And I really did, you guys. Because when I would teach classes to those ladies or when we would get together to have what would be the equivalent of a crafting retreat. But I told you guys I taught it at an event with for people that were I did it at a couple places, but the main event was one with people that were cancer survivors. And most of them, you guys, had never made a journal. Did you get her? She was crying and crying and crying. She's not in here. Go see if she's downstairs. She was really yowling. So most of them had never made a journal. And so it was nice. It's like it wasn't as intimidating as, say, it might have been if you felt like you had to like totally, if you had to totally decorate everything or, you know what I'm saying? It was like they were already decorated. So it was totally cool. It's already with the paper. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and like do all the spines and I'll see where that takes me. I will see where the spine, after the spine, where it takes me. So what do you guys tell me? Hey, Renee, how are you? Hey, Sage, will you shut my door?
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you find her?
Yeah, she was up on the 3rd floor. She got stuck.
Buddha shut the door on her?
Yeah.
Guys, that little cat, when Seisha's home, when Seisha's not home, that little cat wreaks havoc. When Seisha's home, that cat just wants to be with her every minute. Like if Seisha goes to the bathroom, the cat stands outside the door and cries. It's like crazy. It's so silly. So let's see. So hopefully this weekend we are going to get, I told you a friend of ours drove through Las Vegas, and my sister moved to Las Vegas about, oh my gosh, 6 months ago, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. She moved. Her husband retired, and they moved there. They're going to stay for a couple of years because they'd rented out. It was kind of sucky, actually. He worked for a big manufacturing company. He was like the vice president of a division for a long time for a car manufacturing company. And they had, during the pandemic, asked him to move from Charlotte, where she was living, which is only 4 hours from here, right? Or 2 hours from here, 2.5, I guess, with traffic, to Northern California. And he said, I'll do it. He said, but you guys are not going to ask me, like, there's no, I'm not going to be asked to retire, because he wasn't really retirement age, but he'd worked for the company for like 30 years. So I guess he could retire after that, he'd been vested. And they said, no, we're not going to make any big changes. So you guys, they moved during COVID, which is like the worst time to move, And so they rented out their house here in Charlotte or in North Carolina and moved to Northern California. Well, don't you know, I don't know how long they were there, a year, maybe a year and a half. And then they go, okay, we're because of COVID, I'm sure, and how long it lasted, they were restructuring and they offered him a really good retirement package. But he was like, okay, this makes absolutely no sense. Northern California has one of the highest tax rates ever. He's like, I am not going to retire here. And they only rented a house in Northern California. They actually tried to buy one, but it was right around the time when everybody could suddenly work from home and all that. And then housing prices went up and it was just crazy. And my brother-in-law was like, he's very frugal with that. so and they had rented out their house for like 3 or 5 years, whatever his contract said that he was going to have. They'd rented out their house in Charlotte for like 3 to 5 years. So he finds himself on the verge of retirement suddenly with really no warning. And they moved to Las Vegas. He's always wanted to live there. The taxes are less. It's like, where are the places where there's no state taxes? It's New Hampshire, Texas, Las Vegas. One of those things. What happened? Let me see. Yes, most people don't know what a junk journal is. You're right. But that's why I had all those covers, because I could just show them, and that's why I had like all those, the ones that I've donated to Defy when they had that auction, when we did the journal auction, were ones that I used as samples. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I don't usually sell my junk journals. Or if I did, it would have been like in person, or it would have been like, somebody asking me and me making one specially for them. Because you know why, guys? They take me freaking forever. Freaking forever. Utah, Arizona, Florida. Okay. So all Delaware. So all those places. But he always wanted to live in Vegas. Okay. So that's why they're there. She got a really cute house. She's used to living in like mansion kind of houses, you guys, like 6,000 square foot houses. The house they bought in Vegas is like, I don't know, it's not that big. And she was like, that's why my friend went by and got all that stuff from her, because she was like, and she had saved me some stuff too. Because you guys, when I moved to Hawaii, I let go of everything. So she had saved me like some things that were my grandmother's, some things that were my mom's. Not a lot of stuff. My sister is used to living in like big houses. She's got lots of kids, but her kids are grown now. Yeah, so I know exactly what you mean. People don't really know what a junk journal is. And then not only do they not know what a junk journal is, they don't even know what to use it for. Because I brought a credit card in here with me. It wasn't even a credit card. It was a really cool card, actually. It was what in the world? Guys, see, this is what I get for when I need to set up my space like permanently. I just haven't yet. Guys, I haven't been feeling like it. So, yeah. Most people don't know what a junk journal is. But hey, it doesn't matter to me. Does it really matter to you guys? It does not matter to me. I love a good junk journal. How many of you guys are the same? Let's see if Blake will bring me some paper towels. I need some paper towels, you guys. So I get up here. I don't even have any baby wipes. I don't have nothing. I have nothing. That's going to bring me some paper towels. Yeah, they take me too long, Kim. So it's like you can't really put a price on that. Hey, will you bring me some paper towels? I need some. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, so that's why I don't sell them. Somebody asked me one day, like, why don't you have a whole bunch in your shop? I'm like, oh my God, you guys. And I'm not a fast maker. You know, like there's some people that just like knock them out, like, and they're just really fast and all that. Guys, that is not moi. That is not me. It takes me too long. Yeah, I need to get one of those carts. I will. You know what, Dana? It's like so stupid. It's just like, do you know how like you go, okay, I need this and this and this and this. And my priority hasn't been any of it. I haven't really, my craft room has not been my priority, but it will be now. So anyway, we're hoping this weekend, back to my ridiculous. See, I run around the block with my head. You guys, I definitely have attention deficit disorder right now. Thank you, babe. Thank you. I appreciate it. So hopefully this weekend, our friend that went to get all the stuff, drove through Las Vegas to get all the stuff. Hopefully we'll have it all unpacked. So then that brings a whole nother level of like extra to my life or to my house or to my garage or whatever until I figure out where everything goes and what I want to keep and what I don't. So that's where I'm at. They found a house in Vegas proper. You guys know I lived in Vegas for like 5 seconds. My job transferred me there. What's really kind of weird is that they found a house. And they bought it. They bought it in the middle of when everything was like insane. Like I can't remember exactly when. She hadn't even seen it. He bought it. He went there and found it because she was like, he's wanting to live in Vegas. Now she had to pack up their stuff. They were renting a house in Northern California. They had already, because they couldn't find one to buy. And he's very, when it comes to houses, he is very house savvy, like buying and neighborhood. He like buys like, you know, the worst house in the best neighborhood and then does all the work to fix it up, that kind of thing. I mean, that's his like cool, that's his like superpower, you know? Like they've always made a lot of money on their houses. So he found this house. I mean, I think he was like kept getting outbid over houses, which was like frustrating for him. Because, you know, the housing market went like nuts for a minute, and it still is nuts in some places. It's nuts here, you guys. Because I could get probably $30,000 to $50,000 more than I paid for this house without doing anything to it. I mean, I'm not doing it because no. But I'm just saying that's crazy, you know. So, but what's crazy about my job in Las Vegas, you guys, I got glue on the other side because I don't have any. Because it's probably on my table and I can't see. I don't have any wipes or anything. So I worked, I rented a house in a cute little area of Vegas. And my sister's house that she bought is like 2 blocks away from the house that I rented. Isn't that funny? When I was there when I lived there for 5 minutes. It was very funny because when I went to see her, I was like, I said, the house I rented was like, it's 2 blocks from here. She was like, you are kidding me. I said, no. They found a really cute house. It has a lap pool. It's really cute. And but it's small for them. I love this cover. Look at it. It looks kind of like fabric. You're surrounded by started projects. Oh, girl, I have so many things. You guys, I didn't even unpack my stuff. Like I have not I've unpacked a little bit of it, but not much. And I have what I have unpacked is a ton of unfinished projects. I love this color too. Hey, Joni. Finishing projects isn't what you do. You take it too long to make anything, Laura. But I'm just saying, like, okay, let's look at somebody like mention a junk journaler that you go, that person makes amazing junk journals. Let's just talk about Diane Shaw. I love her work, right? I don't know what year this is, but this one's in good condition. This one, I think, is 1990, I think. I don't know. Guys, I have some from like the 30s. I had some, but they're falling apart. So I love her work, and she makes a lot. Have you guys ever gone over to her channel? You should. Diane Shaw, Shawcraft One, My Old Barn Door. That's her shop, I think. Anyway, she makes beautiful junk journals. You guys, she can just like pop them out like it's nothing. You guys, I like takes me forever. So like if I had to depend on that for my living, I'd be starving because I would make I would finish to my satisfaction, 5 junk journals a year, where she probably makes 20 a month. You know what I mean? You guys, I am not, yeah. I love Diane too. She is really good. You like Henderson? That's where her house is. That's where we lived. It's in Henderson. It's like 15 minutes. Whoever planned Las Vegas, as far as the city goes, it's really easy to get around. Everything's within like 20 minutes of each other. You love her journals too, right? Yeah, she had one not that long ago, and I was like, I want to buy that. And I'm like, you guys, I'm moving. I don't need to buy anything like that until after I get myself settled. Who else makes junk journals that they just like dish? They just are like, they're like a bunny. They're like Energizer Bunny or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. There's lots of people's work I really enjoy. But, guys, I'm not fast. I'm not fast. I'm not a quick maker. I mean, some people are really good at being quick. Not moi. I'm not quick. What about let's think about who sends them to Defy. They make like 1 million, okay, I'm gonna send 5 journals to Defy this week. You guys, it would take me months. You know who else I really love, and I haven't been on YouTube to see her in a while? Do you guys know Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming? First of all, I like her voice. She's got a beautiful voice. But her work I love her work. Have you guys ever joined her channel? She is fabulous. So let me see, what else can I tell you? So hopefully this weekend we're going to get all the furniture that we need to get from our friend that went to Las Vegas. Picked it all up. But then I don't know where I'm going to put it all. You guys, I would not advise anybody to start out in a house like I did, where you have like everybody's hand-me-downs and you didn't pick it out. And not that I mind hand-me-downs, because you guys, I'm not that precious, and then you're like, I don't even know where to put it. And you know what I'm saying? And the other thing was our sweet house sitter that I couldn't almost get to leave. She felt inclined to unpack all these boxes of like kitchen stuff and everything. So I don't know where anything is. So Blake and I spend most of the time when I'm in the kitchen, I go, do we have a cheese grater? And he goes, I think we do. But we can't find it. And she wasn't really a cook. So the things that she did not put them away. Like, I think every person has their own. She cooked her things. Like she had one of those racks that you're talking about for her spices. the rolling cart that we would use for our crafting. She had that for her spices. But she didn't cook like shred things, and she was vegan, so hers was like super sauteed some vegetables and that's it, right? And some coconut oil or whatever. She didn't eat I don't know if I didn't ever see her eat processed food. Maybe she did, I don't know, but I never saw her eat it. But it was very funny because like he's like, "Where is this?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." You know what I mean? Like, where is the so we're making the 15-year-old is making her own quesadillas tonight because she wants to have them for lunch tomorrow. So he went to the store to get her some more cheese because I guess she ate all the cheese. And I said, "Well, you need to grate it first." And he's like, "And just where is that grater?" He goes, "I know we have a big one." He goes, "All I can find is like the lemon zesting grater." And that's like ridiculous to grate cheese with. So, you guys, nothing tops Alien's Tacky Glue. I'm sorry. I mean, I do like Elmer's Extreme, but you guys, one of my friends is having a birthday party on Saturday, and I want to go, but I feel so crappy right now, and I don't want to. Oh my God, you guys want to laugh? So my friend Kristen's having a birthday, and she messaged me and she said, "I put your number in the birthday chat, and I thought it was your number, but it was a little kid. It was a little kid. It was a little kid who kept talking about poop." Oh my God. And she's like giving me the information where we're going for her birthday on Saturday because I really want to go. So that is why I have decided I am going to eat as bland as possible because we're going out to some sort of sustainable restaurant, seafood restaurant. I love seafood, and I won't eat spicy. And then we're supposed to go out dancing because I love to go dancing. I just hope I feel good enough to do it. That is so funny. She's sending me text messages to a little kid who who is talking about poop. I'm sorry. You guys, do you see how ridiculous my life is? My life is so ridiculous. My life is bizarrely ridiculous in many ways. Then I got a really sweet text message from this really dear couple of friends who might have been friends with them for, I don't know, for a good long while, for probably at least 13 or 14 years. And they were like, "Let us know when you're ready for visitors." You guys, I'm not ready for visitors. Hey, Elle, how are you? Oh, drifting off to sleep, girl. I get it. I'm not going to be on forever. I'm just going to do some spines and talk about how long it takes me to make junk journals. Are you a fast junk journal maker? Johnny's a fast junk journal maker. I'm not a fast junk journal maker. You guys, I suck at DigiKit things. I suck at all that. Okay, like I never had a good enough printer or a printer that I thought was good enough. So I guess if you have DigiKits, maybe you can be faster than me. It just takes me a while to figure out what paper I'm putting in it. How's your packing going or purging or I'm sorry, I haven't been over to see your channel. I don't know what you're doing right now. Is it spring break yet? You guys, when is spring break? Our spring break already happened. Our spring break was like in March for like a minute. Ours was like in March for a minute. You guys, I definitely let these dry a really long time because you want that sticky glue. Like if I was really in a hurry to make one, I would use Tyvek tape. But I don't like Tyvek tape as much as I like this Tyvek. Do any of you guys use Tyvek tape? I mean, I've used it, but it's not my fave. Well, no, our best friend Carla Cage Fish loves it, and I love her. Hey, Jen, how's her moving going? Have you heard? Have you heard how her moving's going? I wish I lived closer. I'd have come and helped her pack her crap up. You guys, the joke was on me because the last job that I had. You're at your new house on spring break now? Oh, Elle, that's so awesome. Spring break was last week. Ours was like the first week. Ours was like 2 weeks ago. Carla's moving today. Oh, yeah. You use Craftex for most of your journals. Oh, that's good. Jamie, remember? Lived on an island. Didn't want to end up in a landfill. Used what I could find. And I had told you guys, I have a friend that she's still my friend, but I don't see her because she's in Hawaii. But I had a friend that worked for a company that did so many, like they were insane about their shipping. They did so much shipping. And she was like super upset because they only did FedEx and Priority Mail overnight. And one day, so when she found out I used it, she used to save me boxes of it, you guys. I was like, boxes of used envelopes. It was like, what? You texted her, but she didn't respond. She's crazy busy. What was the difference in the size of her place? Was it real extreme? You guys, it's hard enough moving, let alone having to give away your stuff. What was this? What's the year of this one? You guys, these are in much better condition than the ones I would find in Hawaii. I mean, I would use them anyway, but the ones I would get in Hawaii would be like, guys, the tropics don't do well with really old books, especially if they're not well made. And these were like made in mass, you know. This one is 1989. So these aren't that old. So, you know, I do have some where the covers are like they totally fell off. Like, you know, barely keep the spine bits together. Well, I hope her move went well. Guys, moving is so ridiculous. At least it was for me moving from Hawaii. So we have these friends that we love so much that we haven't seen in a long time. And texted me, "We're up for some company? When are you ready for company?" I'm like, dude. Like, I didn't say anything. I said, it would be awesome. I'll let you know. Like I said, awesome. I would love to see you guys. I will let you know when we are ready. Not that my house has to be perfect, but you guys, I don't even have a guest bedroom set up. I told you guys that we got all these. So when Blake's parents were like, gave us a bunch of stuff. I guess the majority of the beds in their home and the bed frames are king size. You guys, in a house built in 1905, that some of the rooms don't even have a closet. If you put a king size bed in it, you wouldn't even be able to get around it. You know what I mean? So Blake and I have two huge, and one of them is one of those sleep number beds. And I think there was probably more king size beds, but Blake left them. So I don't even have a guest bed set up. I have a blow up mattress. I have a queen size blow up mattress, and Seisha has a bed, and we have a bed. And our bed's just a little double bed. And so I have to deal with that. But my sister did give me a really nice bed, and I think it's queen size. But Blake was like, I don't even know if I can get the bed upstairs, not the queen size one he could, but the king size one, because when you guys see my house, you'll understand, like, it has like so many steps going up and then it turns and then you go back up. He's like, I don't even know if I can get the mattress up the landing. I'm like, oh my God. You know, because it's, you know, I guess he could probably get the box, not the box spring, well, you could, because they're twin box springs, right, for a king. And he could get the other parts of it, the bed frame and stuff. I don't know if he could or not. We didn't even I just said to him, "This is ridiculous." So we can't. One of the bedrooms on the 3rd floor could handle it, but I don't know if he could get it up there. Great answer. See, the old me would have said, "Elizabeth, sure," and then stressed myself out. But the new me said, "I'll let you know when we're ready." And I said to Blake, "I'm not ready." And he goes, "I know, honey." He goes, "We don't have to have anybody over." You guys, I told you there's no closets in some of these rooms. So like in the room I'm in right now, which I'm using as my craft room, which is like probably the only other bedroom that you could use really as a guest room, is because it has a bathroom with it, is I have a cedar chest and a shelf in here. And I have 2 of these 6-foot tables. One has like, because I was having a sale. And that's it. I mean, there's like no closets or anything. I said to him, ugh, I said, I don't know. You guys, I love my friends, and I know the reason that they're excited to see me because, I'm not living in Hawaii. But I used to see them in Hawaii a couple of times a year. The old me would have said, sure, come on over. But the new me was like, mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good idea, Joni. Yeah. But I don't really want a king-size bed in a room where there's like, I have to buy, I told you guys I got to get a couple of wardrobes. There's like there's no closets. There's a closet in our room, but it's a tiny closet. And there's some on the 3rd floor, but they're like in the eaves of the house. They're like meant for like attic storage. And there's one closet in Seisha's room, but like in the other 2, what would be considered bedrooms on this floor, there's 0 closets, none at all. And then there's no storage closets. There's none downstairs on the 1st floor, none at all. I think there might be a tiny one under the stairs. That's it. There's like none. And there's no bathroom, like there's no linen closet and stuff like that. Nothing like that. Yeah. But sometimes I agree with you, Dana. And I definitely yes, when we go visit Blake's family, I stay in a hotel. Primarily because you guys, I don't sleep well. And some people are like, I don't want to be the person. Some people are super light sleepers. So I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like, oh God, Shelley got up in the middle of the night, and I don't want to be that. Does that make sense? So yeah, my neighbors next door, they bought this house originally had assuming it was not a guest quarters, but like a work quarters for people. And when the man sold this house, or after his mother died, his sister died. It was very sad. His sister died, I think, before his mother died, and she was very young. And then his mother died. Well, he sold that to our neighbors. Like I said to Blake, wow. I said, that would have been like ideal. And they turned, and the house actually is in our backyard, but they fenced it in. I'll give you guys a tour and you'll see it at some point. So, and then next to it was what I think was the original like carriage house, like where they put their horses and stuff. So, they have turned it into an Airbnb, the people that bought it. And so I could always give them that, but you guys, I'm still not ready. Even if somebody stayed in a hotel, my house is like, I don't know. You guys, it's just like in this room, I have boxes and boxes and boxes of books, fabric, craft supplies. Like I can't even put them in a closet to hide them. So. And I love company. Don't get me wrong. I do. I'm just like, So So what are you guys working on? So I'm going to try to at least get all the spines of these done. Then I have all that tea dyed paper. And then I don't know what I'm going to put in it. I brought some of my eclectic favorite things. You always stay in a hotel when you visit anyone. You're just too quirky. I'm quirky too. You snore? I think I snore too. I'm too quirky as well, but it's like one of those things. But I would love to see them. But it was like today was like I said when I got that text, I was like initially I didn't respond. I was like, oh my God. Well, because I had called to wish one of them a happy birthday. And you guys, they're older. They're older than me, much older than me. I think they're both like I want to say they're both like in their 70s, maybe even older than that. I mean, and I know they're both in their 70s. I don't quite exactly know. One of them's younger than the other one. It's a two-man couple. And I've been friends with them for a long time and I love them. I love them. And one of them a couple of years ago, right before the pandemic, he got cut on some coral in Hawaii and ended up getting, I think, sepsis. You guys, yeah, it's like, yeah. So he ended up in the hospital. So we like spent a lot of time with his partner because they ended up having to stay in Hawaii for, I don't know, a month, I think. And I would just go to the hospital and sit with him, or I would go and pick him up and take him to dinner or something. Because you guys, nothing's worse than to going through like something traumatic and you don't even have your like own stuff, like you're on a. So I'm sure that he feels like he wants to like, just come and hang out with me when it's like not a. And then they didn't come one year because of the pandemic. And then they came this year, but we weren't there, you guys. We had just moved because they always come in February. They live in cold. I want to say they live in Illinois, but they might live in Michigan. I don't know. They live somewhere where it's super cold. Maybe I could do an open house at Christmas time. That's a good that's a good thought. You guys meet and go thrifting. I'm all in. And you know what? You guys would understand my mess. It's just having somebody stay with you for a couple days. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Lisa. You're working on a small hand-stitched journal and you're just getting fabric ready to make pages out of. Ooh, good for you. Hey, Rock Paper, how are you? I'm sorry. How are you? Lisa, how are you, girl? I've been thinking about you. Yeah, I've been trying to get it together to start streaming again. Hang on one second, you guys. Sorry, hang on a second. Anyway, you're harvesting magazines and watching. Hey, used account, who are you? Tell us who you are. How long have I been streaming? You mean streaming? I don't know, a long time. I mean, today, not that long. Yes, the Biltmore is in Asheville. It is beautiful, 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 beautiful. It is really beautiful. You're Jerron? Okay, nice to meet you, Jerron. Do you paper craft? Do you paper craft? Did you guys all go? Did you guys all go and subscribe to the channel that Jamie suggested that you So channel, Dave, what's it called? A Dash of Dave? Is that what it's called? You draw? Well, good for you. Dash of Dave, do you, oh, that's so, Dana, you're so awesome. John, you're welcome to hang out with us, but we're a bunch of old ladies who craft. So I don't know if that'll be of much interest to you. I'm an old lady. I don't know about anybody else in the chat. So rock, paper, what are you up to? Lisa, is it for a special occasion that you're making your journal? You're working on a journal? Oh, good for you. So A Dash of Dave, Jamie she put his channel in there. You guys, he's hilarious. Jamie, what's his friend that he streams with? The Dash of Dave. His friend is, he says he makes journals too. And I was like, I want to see his journals because the way he was talking about them, it was hilarious. They're really a hoot. Yeah, Dave's having a giveaway. If you guys, he just started his channel, Dave, and I think he has like about 800 subscribers. You just want to make one, the ones like Journey makes. That's awesome. Brian is his friend. What's Brian's channel? I like kind of listened. I was listening to him. I subscribed and I was listening to him. And he made that folio. That was super cute. I mean, he made that. You guys would like him. He's like, he's from England, so he's got a fabulous accent. You sub to Dave. He's hilarious. He is so hilarious. You guys, if you want some really good, fun crafting entertainment, A Dash of Dave is definitely, he's hilarious. And he made a DigiKit, and it's pretty, I thought it was really good. I couldn't find his friend's channel. I honestly, I just watched a couple of his episodes or I actually listened to him because I've just been feeling so crappy dap. I've just been like, yeah. You said Dave is hilarious. You guys, he's doing his giveaway. What is he giving away? Is he giving away that folio that he made? It was actually really good, but he made this digital kit and it was really good. And it was of his family and it made me laugh so hard. He took these, you wait till you see his digitals. They're really good. He did this sort of like, was it a trifold folio? I don't know. He's really hilarious. And his friend, they're kind of like a comedy show because the other guy has where is he from? He's not from Liverpool. Where is he? Where's Brian from? Yorkshire? I don't remember, but he's got a very thick, and Brian kind of laughs and he goes, like, you need a translator. Dave's friend, Brian. There you go. Brian's like, my channel's boring. I just do journal flip throughs. And I was thinking, we love journal flip throughs. You guys, I am going to start my quilting thing soon. I got a bunch of fabric ready. I just got to get Blake to bring my sewing machine upstairs. It's in an old cabinet and it's quite kind of heavy. And so my new old sewing machine, and then that'll be good. Then I can start my quilt. Maybe I can get my camera up over it and quilt with you guys. Lacey, you might really enjoy him. I mean, he's talented. He's very talented, but he's hilarious. I don't know who he reminds me of, but the two of them laugh all the time. They're just like laughing, and they're very sweet. But he's super talented. He was talking about the trials and tribulations of starting an Etsy. And I thought, oh, we all know that one. We all know that one. Yes, the one digital that one of the digitals he came out with has pictures of his family, and it's quite lovely. It was like his parents. It was his parents on their wedding day, and then what was it? His grandmother and what did he said? Some cousin. What did he say? Something so funny. He was like, and the cousin that nobody claims or something. It was. You guys would just think it's funny too, because it's like, it's just real life, And they were laughing and laughing. So I'm going to start my quilt soon. I've got both. I have washed my fabric for the fabric I can wash for my crazy quilt, and I have cut some of the denim that I'm going to make the denim quilt out of. I'm going to make one of those rag quilts out of denim. Have you guys ever made that? I'm going to make a crazy quilt, but I'm going to make it into I don't think my daughter's watching this. So I decided that I'm going to make crazy quilts, but I'm going to make them into Christmas tree skirts. You don't see the chat. Why don't you see the chat, Cassandra? Lisa, I get it. My grandmother had like quilting frames all over her house. She had like a king size one. And then she had one, and my grandfather had to build her that because back then, you guys, they didn't really make king size quilts. And then she had one that was kind of adjustable that would work for like a double bed or a twin. You're making a scrappy quilt? Oh, that's awesome. Well, if you've ever made a crazy quilt, it's a scrappy quilt. So, yeah. So I'm going to make them into Christmas tree skirts. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to make them square first, right? And then I think I will cut the circle out, and the hole out after I make the square. That's my plan. So, I could hand quilt it. I mean, I don't have to bring my machine up here. Just machine quilting's faster. You have your grandma's frame. Oh, Lisa, that's awesome. It would take up the whole living room. Yeah, they did. No, my grandmother had a whole room. I mean, in the winter, she quilted in there. She would piece all summer long sitting outside on the front porch, and she hand pieced everything. And then in the summer, she would do that. And in the winter, she would quilt, and she had it set up in her, regular living room. She had a big house too, big old farmhouse. So it was pretty cool. So that was super cool. Cassandra, you might go back out and come back in. Or if you're watching it on your iPad, you guys, I am iPad impaired. One of my friends called me today, and she signed up for a class online, and she was like, and I can't get the stuff to download. And I'm like, well, hang on. I guess I wasn't feeling really good. And I Googled it, and it says you can't download some things on. What do you mean you see only the comments? You didn't see Lisa's comment? So why don't you go out and come back in? I mean, I don't, you guys, I'm not up on the ins and outs of stuff like this. Guys, YouTube's always changing something, and it's always not always easy. Your grandmother quilted the last 3 quilts in the living room in the house you're living in now. Oh, Lisa, that's beautiful. Yeah, Val says maybe you're in top chat instead of live chat. That you have to check all the time. Good for you, Val. Thanks for I didn't even think about that. Guys, the other day when I was having my sale, it was every 5 seconds it went to. And now it's okay. Well, make sure that you're in live chat and not top chat, because then you won't see everything if you're in top chat. Well, I'll certainly have a lot of bindings of Reader's Digest binding. Reader's Digest covers ready. That is so special, Lisa. I agree with Elle. You don't have the patience to quilt, crochet, or knit. I get it, Renee. It's not, you know what? It's not for everyone. That is for sure. That is for sure. But you guys, so one of my kids, I made her, I'm just trying to think of you guys, my kids are really hard to buy for, and and they don't really need anything. So I was just thinking, well, if I made them Christmas tree skirts, I don't have to give them to them now. I can give them to them anytime, right? I don't have to give them to them this Christmas. This one is actually kind of hard to cut up. It's like one of those toughies. This is that Lands and People. I just really liked the cover. Like Blake said, the cover spoke to me. Oh, Lisa, that's so beautiful. Oh, I have a good collection of quilts too. Guys, this is I don't want to slip the spine on this one. So this one's got, and the glue on it is, of course, my X-Acto knife is probably a little dull too, which is probably not the best either. Hi, Riri. How are you? You had a similar issue today. If you're using an Android phone, restart it. It won't hurt trying that for any of your operating systems as well. Ah, that's good to know, Riri. Sometimes I make envelopes or make embellishments or make painty papers, or she asked me what I do with the guts of my book. So I have boxes of guts of books, okay? In Hawaii, I wouldn't have saved the readers. I would save only the ones that were in really good shape, because I told you guys the tropics are not kind to old books. They just aren't. Doesn't matter how well preserved you think a book is, or it just isn't. The bugs eat it or whatever in the tropics. But here, I'm sure that won't be the same kind of thing. So I will, I don't know, I'll use them. I don't know. I've made pockets and envelopes and embellishments and painty papers and I don't know, everything that you can make with regular paper. You run a Samsung tablet. Cassandra, I used to make my kids ornaments. We would make them every year, but they're not as, your son's older. So, I mean, he's not, the millennials don't really appreciate it. At least my millennials don't. My millennials are so my daughter's turning 30. My oldest daughter, it will be 30 at the end of this month. You guys, I don't know how that happened and how time flies, but it did. And I asked her, she's living in Mexico City, and I asked her, I said, what do you want for your birthday? And she said, I want, she goes, nothing. She goes, you can't get anything here to me. She's like, the post office is terrible, the mail or whatever. And I said, well, and she also told me her husband's contract was extended for 9 more months. So I said, well, that's good. And she actually likes living in Mexico City, so good for her. So I said, what do you want? I said, well, if you were going to buy yourself something, what would you want? You guys ready for this? She wants a suitcase, but it's a really cool suitcase. It's a German suitcase, not cheap. It's made by a German company, and it is, she goes, that's what I'd like. And I said, all right, that's what I'll get you for your 30th birthday. And I said, just let me know when you're getting here, and I'll try to get it shipped before you come. I can send her money, but I just thought if there was something she really wanted, Oh my gosh, you guys. This is when I need those really sharp razor blades that I had. I don't have them now. I do not know what I do with them, those sharp razor blades. Yay, that was a big chunk. You guys, that was like a heavy one. You know how some of these, I think it was kind of like an encyclopedic book. Some of them are super heavy. This is one of those. Definitely one of those. You must have replied to Elizabeth about 20 minutes ago. Good night, Joanne. I hope you sleep well. You got a knife sharpener for your tissue blades? Oh, that's good. But I really liked this book cover, you guys. I got 3 books. There were 3 of them. I think there's probably many more of them, but I bought them at a thrift store. I had to have them. Paid more than I would normally pay for a book I'm going to cut up. Lisa, I think it's awesome that you're living in your grandma's house or that your grandmother used to live there. I love things like that. No? This one is People and Lands Near the Middle East. And this one was from 60, I think. Did I tell you it was 1960, you guys? But they have them from the 30s. I looked them up after I bought it. I mean, you can buy them. They're not crazy expensive. You can buy them online, but I didn't. I bought it at a thrift store, so I was like, okay, I don't know how much it's worth. One of my friends' kids, somebody said that spring break already happened. One of my kids' friends, they're on spring break. They go on spring break 2 weeks from now. So I don't think it all coincides with it. I think schools do what the heck they want to do. Malia, isn't Lily on spring break in April too? You're going to bed. I hope you sleep well. You going to bed, Elle? That's, you know what? You're so lucky you still have your mom, Lisa. I lost my mom like almost 15 years ago. It was actually 15 years ago, just a few weeks ago. And I miss her every day. It's like, I know people say, oh, I don't know, like they expect you to get over stuff. You guys, losing my parents was incredibly difficult. My dad died a couple years after my mom. And yeah, it was. And my dad, the really sad thing is my dad was like, I don't know, 15 years older than my mother. And I honestly think after my mom passed, he was just like done. And you guys, my parents were divorced for a long time, but he was always still in love with my mother. It was a very odd situation. It's like one of those things where you're like, what? Yeah, my mom never remarried. And my dad did remarry. My mom never remarried. But my dad used to, I think he just held up, I don't know what he held up the hope of. I really don't know. They were really good friends till the day she died. And I think he mourned her, and in that morning he himself, you know, he was a lot older. I think he was like 15, maybe 16 years older than my mother. My mother wasn't very old when she passed. But you're lucky you have your mom. Your parents are both in poor health, and it's hard to watch. That it is. Florida's being trashed by young spring breakers. Ugh. Your mother-in-law comes by after her morning run. Oh my gosh. In your new house? In your new house? Oh, you're going to be a couple of blocks away from your in-laws. Oh, that's awesome. Val says she thinks Catholic schools still do spring break at Easter. You're probably right, Miss Val. You are probably right. You are probably right. Oh, Dana, I'm sorry about your dad. They travel a lot in their 80s. How awesome is that? That's super awesome. Well, my ex-husband's mother is still living, and she is having some severe health issues right now. And my youngest daughter happened to be visiting her or saw her recently when she was on the East Coast. And that's how we even found out that she wasn't doing well. I mean, I don't know if my ex-husband would even tell us, but anyway, so we've all been in touch with her. She fell. She's in her 90s. She fell, and she lives alone. She's very ornery and stubborn. And she's in her 90s, and I don't know what happened, how she fell or whatever. Who knows? Because you guys, she is like a pistol, you know. And so she is right now in a rehab of some sort where they're like trying to help. I honestly don't know, but evidently my youngest daughter was talking to her today. We try to call her every other day. I don't even know if she knows that. I don't even know if she knows which child is talking to her. Because my older daughter calls her from Mexico, and I don't think she knows the difference between them on the phone. Doesn't matter. You know, like we don't correct her, but she was like, I need to get home. I have things I need to do. I was like, okay. I said, I don't think they're gonna let you out quite yet. I think you have to have be doing your thing. And we got all kind of scared because she was talking weird and funny. And I said, maybe they have her on pain meds because she fell and she hit her head, but I think she broke one of her ribs. And she lives in this huge house by herself. My father-in-law has been gone for 15 years. He died within a couple of weeks of my mom. It was so weird. Anyway. And he didn't have he just died. It was anyway. So she's lived alone for 15 years. She won't let anybody live with her, and she doesn't want help. And, I just said, well, she's 90. I think she's 93. I think that's how old she is. I'm not 1,000% sure. I don't remember, but I think she's about in her 90s. So it's awesome that your parents are traveling. Your parents are traveling a lot in their 80s. You didn't miss it? What didn't you miss? But it depends upon the year because one year my daughter's birthday was on Easter and her birthday is March 30th, my oldest daughter. So I'm going to save the front page, the flyleaves of this, and I'm going to put it over this. I'll put it over the Tyvek. Yes, I have 3 of these. I'm super excited. I don't know what I'm going to put in it, though. I don't know what kind of pages. I don't know what. You guys pipe in. I'm not big on digitals, primarily because I don't have a good printer. So I'm not big on digitals, but I do like old paper. You guys, you know what else this works really good with? Sewing paper. If you put a piece of one of these used priority mail envelopes behind whatever you're sewing to the paper, it won't perforate it. And you can do a straight stitch. You don't have to do a zigzag. Isn't that cool? Guys, I'm super excited about this one. I have 2 more like it in the other room. Your son is March 25th, and he also had a birthday on Easter. It's the first Sunday after the full moon, after the spring equinox. Okay. Never enough covers, right? You guys, it was so embarrassing when I actually went through all my covers. It was our friend Sonia who messaged me and she goes, I want your covers. Because I didn't even send her all of them. I sent her the ones that were in better condition. But guys, I had a lot. You can never have too many covers. I agree. And I could make my own covers, but there's so many cool books out there. I don't feel the need to. So many cool books. What do you guys think? Do you feel the need to make? Although, can I tell you, some of the covers people make are astoundingly gorgeous. Okay? Some of the covers people make are just amazingly gorgeous. Never enough covers. You have lots of covers ready. Good for you. I'm going to start having now. I'm going to restock my own stash. Isn't it sweet when your person knows that, bringing you home a pile of Reader's Digests is super awesome? Better than flowers. Honey, what could I bring you? A pile of Reader's Digest? Old Reader's Digest? A pile of old Reader's Digest. Yeah, he brought me a good pile. I want to say he brought me 20 or 30. Yeah, this one is from 1979. The stories are funny. Dinah Blow Your Horn, War and Remembrance, How I Got to Be Perfect. Yeah. Hey, Bo. Valerie says, HP Instant Ink is no for you ever again. Why? What happened? Sometimes you paint covers. I do that too. You're wasting paper on your instant ink. My friends believe in those, because, I have friends that are big eBay sellers. They believe in those, what are they called? Rolo machines or whatever. But I'm I don't need to add extra to myself. I guess if I was sending out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You graduated from college in 79. Good for you. Jamie says she's had great luck with them. I didn't have great luck with them in Hawaii. So it could just be our experience, Val, in Hawaii. Guys, this year is my 40th high school reunion. I'm not going, okay? I'm not going, but it's still my 40th high school reunion. Graduated from high school in 1982. I am not going. No, moi is not going. Okay, I'm down to like the last bit of my priority mail envelope. I feel totally successful. I feel super successful. Val says it was great at first, and they let you know when you were over your plan and suggested I upgrade. When my use went down, they never recommended I go down. When I finally tried to cancel, it took 2 months. I'm sorry. Well, that's good. I think it's a little bit like Spectrum, okay? Blake has a totally different relationship with Spectrum than I do. So I don't know. I get it though. I didn't have such a great relationship with HP in Hawaii, okay? Because they would claim that they mailed me ink and it never came. And, I don't know. It's all good. But I'm glad somebody has a good relationship with them. You're going to get a color laser? I'm a youngster. Oh my God, because I turned 58 this year. Just a few weeks ago in February, I turned 58. I was like, oh my God. 58. I was like, don't get you started on Spectrum. Yeah. Well, we supposedly got this new, it doesn't look like the bandwidth on my computer. It does not look like it's any higher, but if I don't get booted off and it doesn't buffer, then I guess it is. But Blake was like, the guy said our usage, we should only need this. And I said, well, then why does it bump you? Why does it buffer? Then why does it, it's not like we're doing any great, we don't have kids gaming or anything. And it buffers and knocks you off. So he was like, no, it's fine. So then I always love when stuff like this happens. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. And then yesterday morning, he was like bitching because he was like, I can't even get online. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just he and I here, and I wasn't even online. And I was like, oh, I thought Spectrum, I thought we had enough. And, whatever. So then he was like, oh, because he needed to be on for some sort of conference call. And I was like, whatever. Yep. You got mad because your shipment was delayed, so they sent me more overnight and sent me an extra set of ink. Oh, that's nice. They gave you a year free. Oh, that's awesome. Spectrum is the spot of the devil. Oh, no. You found if you go to the Spectrum office, you can get better deals. Well, I'll have him deal with it because you guys, I don't have patience for it, okay? I do not have patience for it. He has more patience than I do for that sort of you know what I mean? For he'll talk to them and whatever. No, I'm like, it doesn't work. My thing is, if it worked well, you wouldn't need to call them all the time. And I said I get frustrated. And I just said to the guy, I said, if it was working well, I would not be calling you. Guys, and I had already used this envelope for something because there was a big chunk of it out. So I'm feeling super good because I used the rest of it. And it was from Cassandra from 2018. That is so funny. Cassandra, can you imagine of all the postage envelopes I've had and gotten in? And you guys, I did give a bunch away. I gave a bunch to there was a kid. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was so cute. It was so sweet. So he took FedEx envelopes and priority mail envelopes and used ones. Obviously, he would try to take I think he painted over the names or something, and he made messenger bags out of them. Your internet is like DSL. So the spot of the devil. You're so funny. You're so funny. So my deal with Spectrum is this. When we lived in Hawaii, one of the houses that we lived in, not the very last, but the one before, the one we had to move during the pandemic, everything was included in our rent, in our monthly rent, everything, electric, cable, everything. Why? Please. Our landlord was not generous because the houses that he was renting behind ours were not legal rentals. Legal rentals would have their own, their own electric meter and all that stuff. So if you can't legally put an extra electric meter, if they can only put one electric meter, then they can charge you, but it has to be like all utilities included. So one time, you guys, it was everybody worked from home at some point, and we had some sort of issue with Spectrum and modems, and when the school was all of it and all that stuff. So we had a whole bunch of issues with that. So Blake had to go down and help them. He had to go down. Our landlord was away or something. He was a doctor. He was away like on a convention or something. So he gave Blake permission to deal with them so that we could get a new modem because people were freaking out. It was during the pandemic. People were freaking out. And mind you, you guys, we never had an account with Spectrum prior. Did we have an account with Spectrum prior to that? No, I think on the other side of the island, it was Hawaiian Tel or something. It wasn't Spectrum. So fast forward, they sell that house. We moved out. All of a sudden, we get this bill from Spectrum. You guys, we had just moved into this house, this most recent house, which was last March. And Blake opened a Spectrum account in March. So let's fast forward to like September of this year. And all of a sudden, Blake is getting like these collection bills from Spectrum, and he's like calling him up, and he's like, "How do I have a collection? How can my account be in collections when it's not even due?" You know what I mean? He was like, and it was for like not return. It was for like equipment or something. And Blake's like, "I have one modem," and he couldn't figure it out. So what Spectrum had done now, when they added Blake to the account, they just added Blake's name. They didn't add anything. It was just do you authorize anybody else to make decisions on this account? And they just had Blake's name, not his social security, nothing. You guys, Spectrum. So how there was no right to privacy. Like how would Blake's information from an account, you know what I mean? He was an authorized whatever user for 5 minutes on an account that he never opened. So Blake's like, so we both went at Spectrum with full strength at that point. He's like, so basically what you're telling me is that you've gone in and you've added this bill to my account. And it's not, first of all, I never owned the home. I never opened the account. I never, you can see I've never paid on that account. And he's like, so it was like a little bit of like a breach of, kind of like a breach of stuff. Anyway, in the end, we ended up fixing it, but it was just like, so I guess the old owner or the owner, we returned the equipment, but I guess one of the units, one of the people in the back had a different modem, but we didn't know about it. And how did we know about it? We didn't open it up. I mean, you know what I mean? It was, or an extender modem or something like that. I don't know, but I'm just saying Spectrum can be a little shady. Good night, Malia. Love you, girl. I hope you sleep well. Your brain is toast. I get it. You have babies. You have toddlers, girl. Well, I guess Vera May's 4, so technically not a toddler. She's a preschooler. You think you want to choose internet problems? What? I mean, we were pissed because I was like, how would you have his name? And why would it be, you know what I mean? And be charging him, billing him for something we never did. Vera May has a fever now. Oh, Malia, girl, I hope she feels better. You married a cable guy and solved all your internet issues? Oh, my gosh. You got a call from Spectrum that they saw an issue with your equipment and could they come check? I called the office to make sure it was legit, and it was. They came, did something, and it never worked right again. I'm sorry, Val. But you know what? On the upside of Spectrum, I had to have like these 30 units that were like considered like hotel units while they were renovating that job I worked for. I dealt with Spectrum Business and they were 100% like they were like good, but Spectrum like residential, dumb. Dumb. Oh my gosh, Tim, you're hilarious. Oh, I hope she's okay, Malia. We love you, girl. Oh, you figure you go to bed now because you won't be sleeping? You give those girls kisses for us. We love them. Ugh. I'm sorry Verme has fever. Because I think I'm going to like my covers. Like, I like this. I love the... I don't know what I may put fabric over it or maybe not. I have that one. I think the older ones might even be nicer, you know, like the ones from the 40s and the 50s. They had like, theirs were much nicer. But you know what, if you ever go back and watch, you can look it on, I think you can even see it on YouTube. I was watching something like, how did they make that? Or something like that on television once. And they showed these people that these paste papers are made just like they would make them for high-end things. Good night, Joni. We love you, girl. I hope you feel better. I hope you sleep well, and I hope Vera May feels better. But I like the colors of them. I mean, I really like this orange one. I think this orange one I might make for myself. Might make it for myself. I like that one. And then I have this red one that I did. I have one more green one to the right of me. And then I have that crazy bird one that I like. That I've been meaning, that somebody asked me to make them a journal. You guys, she asked me so long ago. And then I was moving and I was just like, Because I don't think my journals are like, mine are kind of like trash. You know what I mean? I craft it. It's like whatever I put in it. It's not, you know, it's not some fancy thing. Mine aren't fancy. Mine aren't fancy. Oh, gosh. I am going to get myself, when I feel a little bit better, a GoPro a GoPro that you can wear like in a body harness so that I can take you guys thrifting with me. Because I have had some amazing thrifting adventures since I moved here. But it's kind of hard to thrift and hold a camera. So I may try to get one of those and take you guys thrifting with me. They've got some amazing thrift stores. Now, not all of them. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Not all of them are equal. Like sometimes I find that if you go to, maybe I'm wrong, but you guys can pipe in. If you go to like a charity thrift store, like we have one called, I think it's for like the Ladies Auxiliary or something like that. Which Ladies Auxiliary? I don't know. But it's for a Ladies Auxiliary, that everything is not priced the same. Like some people, or even like if you go to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, we've got a couple of them. If you go to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, like they're not all priced the same, you know? So I think that I can find a little bit frustrating. And, you know, because sometimes I really want to buy some books, and you guys know I'm going to cut them up. It's not like I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be cutting them up. I don't want to spend $4 and $5 on a book I'm going to cut up, you know? So that's just me. I'm not going to say that I haven't spent $4 or $5 on a book that I've cut up. I have, but I would like, if I'm at a thrift store and I'm going to cut it up, and if I'm just getting it for the cover or for something cool in it, I'd like to pay $2 or $3. Yeah, let's go thrifting. Okay. You started volunteering at your local thrift store, and it was really hard not to buy stuff. Oh, Kim, I get that. I couldn't volunteer because I know I would take home half of it. But Blake took me on an adventure, I think it was last week. I don't know. And we went to this thrift store in a town that's like, well, we weren't going there to go to a thrift store. We just happened, he wanted to go to this rare bookshop. Okay. because he had been there once before with his friend when he was working on the house. He'd been there with his friend. He wanted to go to a rare bookstore, but rare bookstore is super expensive. But they had one little thrift store in the town, and you guys, it was fabulous. And I didn't even get a chance to look at their books because I was looking, because I got like, I don't know, I bought a crocheted blanket because I have a weakness for crochet blankets, and we didn't have a lot of time too, so that was the other thing. But I'd like to go back there and look at their books. I don't think they were crazy expensive. They were probably like $2 for a hardback, $1 for a paperback, or 50 cents for a paperback. I don't know. I don't know if Blake bought any books there. I know he bought some at the rare bookstore. He bought a book that he wanted. He'd seen before and he knew it would be there. But it's like frustrating. So you go into like the restore, right? And you'll see like, there'll be like some hardback books in there, like $1 a piece. Hi, Egypt. How are you? They'd be like $1 a piece. And then you'll go to one, you go, oh, this is one I really want because I want to cut it up. And then it's like $15. So you're like, okay, how is this priced? Is it random? Is it like, and then I asked somebody and she goes, it's kind of priced by the volunteer of the day. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot better sense because you have the same book for $1, but the other one that's in better shape, you want $15 for. My name's Shelley. What is your name to Egypt? Anyway, so yeah, so I will take you guys thrifting with me. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna definitely get my little webcam going and do that. That will be super fun. We have some really good thrift stores here. There are some really good ones. Your name is Saeed? Well, nice to meet you, Saeed. So, and then we have one that I really love to go to, but if like they have certain people that, like Blake goes in and he goes, the good pricing lady wasn't there. And I'm like, oh, he goes, I found some books I wanted. Like he's buying books to resell, you guys, not buying books to cut up like me. But, he's like, I can't resell. Like he buys textbooks. He buys textbooks to resell. Guys, he's been a bibliophile for a long time. He buys, just different things like that, so he's got his own thing going on. So he was like, the good person wasn't there. They wanted, and I find Goodwill here. The textbooks are really, the books themselves are expensive. They're like $3 a piece. And I don't know. I can't wait for yard sale season. Then I'll be good. Lisa, how far do you live from me? Well, I will tell you one thing about being on this bladder diet. I probably lost a few pounds. Lisa, if you don't live that far, maybe I'll take a drive and visit you when it gets when I get a little bit of time. Yeah, Jen, I went thrifting, you guys. I went thrifting in Vegas. I went to 4 or 5 thrift stores. Some of them were sort of scary. As far as like the aggressive nature of people. And I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. In Egypt, you use vegetable glue. This is not vegetable glue. This is, I don't even know, what is it made of? Guys, what is Aleene's made from? I've been to Egypt, Saeed. I went to Egypt many years ago. They have some of the most amazing food. I don't know what is made. It just says all-purpose glue. I don't even see I don't see like an ingredient on it. I think it's kind of cool. You know, there's probably way better glues than we have, right? Vegetable glue. What kind of vegetables is it made from? Honestly, I do not know what Aleene's tacky glue is made of. Do any of you? Jamie wants to know if it works well, Saeed. Does vegetable glue work well? And what time is it in Egypt? Okay, so I have got a couple. I like this book cover. I like this one. I would probably maybe try to find some sort of laces to go over it. They want to know if you make art, Saeed. Inquiring minds want to know. Now we want to know about how the glue is made. I don't know how Aleene's is made. I don't. I've used it for a long time. This natural PVA bookbinding glue. You like bookbinding? Me too. This natural PVA bookbinding glue. Let's see. Let's see what this one's a new pH neutral. Let's see what's in it. You guys, it doesn't even have a list of ingredients on it either. This one's professional quality archive. This one is runnier, like more watery. This one is, it's an all-purpose glue, but it holds things better. Hi, Diana. How are you? What, tacky glue is a PVA glue? You guys, I brought this all the way from Hawaii, and it obviously, look at the top of it. Can you see the glue dried? And I couldn't get the lid off when I was trying to get the lid off. Obviously, in transport, polyvinyl acetate white glue. Okay, there you go. Polyvinyl acetate white glue. Guys, I can't even get that off. I'm just gonna leave it. You just Googled it? Hey, Google's our friend until it like isn't, right? I have made a ton of, I've reinforced my spines to start my junk journals. And I have some papers made for it. This tacky glue is a PVA glue. Straight from Aleene's mouth. We all make junk journals, junk mail, old papers, yep, and things. I'll show you guys my favorite book, and I've hoarded it for a long time. And I always, whenever I make paper packs, put a page in it. Now these Reader's Digest pages, even though they're old, I could do something with them. The really, really old books, I couldn't. But and then now I have a whole. You said Google and it woke up your phone. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Guys, Siri and I are not friends. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. Siri and I are not friends. She comes on. I never use Siri, but she will come on, be in the middle of a meeting or something with somebody. I used to work and she would come on and it was not good. So these are some papers that I had saved for that big, the bird book. So I'm sorry. And they were all random and junk mail and a painty paper and something I got for my kids' school. So, I mean, I put some of those in there sometimes. But I love this book. And if you ever find one, get one for yourself. Okay, I can put some in your mail. I have lots of book guts. I got this. You guys, I either got it at a yard sale in Hawaii or I got it at one of those Friends of the Library things. Guys, it has, wait, I've got it going on the wrong way. Sorry. The cover is super torn up. It's called Berthold's Phototypes. But wait till you see it. And I use this all the time. Your kid, your hubs, your husband that Alexis's girlfriend. Oh my gosh. But look at this book. And when I have made junk journals, I always try to include one page, and I kind of do it sparingly because I really like this book. You could dye them. They're not slick. They're a little slick, but you could dye them. They're not shiny, you know. But I love this book. Look at it. It's one of my favorite books ever. And I've used it a lot. So if you ever find one, get one. I think if you like really journally junk stuff, I don't know how much one would be. I never looked it up because I didn't pay more than a couple dollars for it. But it is fabulous. It's just fonts of every kind. And it had a lot of pages in it. I have used, I don't know how, see, I've torn it apart. You can see. I don't know how many pieces I've used from it, but I love it. But it has like 4 bookmarks in it, like 4 of these string bookmarks. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And look, then you get to the back and it's super cool. So these are fonts in tiny writing. This is one of my favorite junk journaling. Like what I would put at least one piece in every junk journal. So I don't know. You could look it up. We could look it up. Let's see how much it is. You guys, I think I'm like allergic to the most random, ridiculous things. It's so stupid, but I think I am. Yeah, I need to get together with those of you that live close to me. Now that I'm not in the middle of the Pacific Ocean anymore. Okay, I found one. Let's see. It doesn't even say how much it cost. This is E1. So E1 first edition. Oh gosh. You guys, if I look it up and it was worth a lot, I'm not going to like it. Oh, only $30. 30, 45. I don't know if mine was a first edition. So it looks like you can get, I didn't pay $30 for it. At the max, I paid $2. or maybe 3. I would not have paid that much for a book. But I love it. So I'm just saying, like, maybe not everybody have I made any of your journals based on the single letter of our alphabet? You mean like one that you would cut like to a letter? Is that what you're talking about? Like an A journal or a B journal like that? Or do you mean like putting anything in there that was like the letter A, that kind of journal? I haven't actually. Well, I made one a long time ago. They had in Rosemary Morris's group, Flowish and Trashy Junk Journals. They had like a theme swap like that, and I think we did, but I don't know if it was everything was like, maybe it was, I can't remember all of it. So I haven't made one of those, but I've seen those ones, like where they cut them into a letter. I think I have one somewhere around here somebody gave me. I think I have one somewhere. No, I don't think, Kim, I may have done some like a themed style journal like that, but I haven't done one like where it was just all A or all B or whatever. Have you? Her group has lots of swaps, and they probably have. I think we did one where it had to be like, I can't remember if it was a letter or a color. I can't remember. It was like, or like flowers or mushrooms or something like that. Guys, I haven't been in any of those groups in so long. Okay, I did find this book for 150 euros. So yes, I cut up a book that was probably really expensive, but I like it and I've used it a lot. Night, dude. Love you, girl. I hear you. Well, my lovelies, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys again on Friday. Does anybody want a few minutes of meditation, or are you guys all ready to go to bed? I'm good either way. Valerie's working on an alphabet glue book right now, but not a single letter. That's good. Jamie, how many of these book guts do you want? You've done the color one? Way back when, and I want to say way back when, like 2016, 15, 16, something like that, maybe even 17, when I used to participate in swaps in Rosemary's group, she had some fun things like that. But I haven't done it in so long. And sometimes the ideas that she would give would be, or, like flower or color or whatever. It was a lot of fun. You'll never turn down woo-woo. Okay, well, if you guys want some woo-woo, go get a glass of water, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to ask Blake if he wants to join us. Val, we could do some swaps in our group, but it's got to wait a little bit longer. Wait till you get settled into your house and that sort of thing. The swaps they're fun, but there's so much work for good night, Cassandra. We love you, girl. They're always a lot of work for the person organizing it, because if somebody fails to meet the swap, then, you got to have somebody that, just a couple. You packed all your stuff when Bailey moved in. All right, I'll send you a couple. I do have a box going to you, so I will. All right, girls, love. Get your water if you want to do the woo-woo. The woo-woo will last less than 10 minutes, okay? I just want to grab Blake, see if he wants to join us. He may not. Hey, Blake. You can ask him if he wants to do meditation.
But if you want to do a meditation with Mom,
Okay. Or you want to do it with you?
not really. I really want to go share a bed.
What?
I want to share a group share bed, but I don't. Also, Buddha, can you bring that ibuprofen for Mom? It's right next to the chair. It's right next to the chair.
David, have my ladies waiting. Grab my ibuprofen. It's right next to the chair. What are you watching? I love you, babe. Why are you with the dog sit with you?
I don't know.
Maybe she's feeling better. We definitely need to get you some sunscreen. Here comes your cat. Make sure there's no cat food anywhere where the dog can get it. I'm gonna do our move right now. I was gonna sign off, but they were like, I want meditation. Okay. Grab your chair. The pluses and minuses of having a larger house. Nobody can hear you in this house. It's built so well. It is built so well. Nobody can hear you. You want to hear a sad news? I did not look up this book before I cut it up. You know, my font book that I got for $1 or $2.
We're gonna keep it.
Well, I cut it up and I've used it lots of times in my junk journals. I looked it up. It's worth 150 bucks. 150 euros. I'm sorry, but I've enjoyed it, so I've used it a
I
lot.
thought we were gonna keep it for whatever.
Well, I mean, I've cut it up, so I mean, I've already cut it up. You want to put it over there? I didn't look it up. I was not good. I thought I had, but I didn't. Here, I'm going to give us a background. So you guys set an intention that you want to have happen from your energy work session. So, you know, I usually don't explain a lot about it, but because I find that you receive what you receive. And, you know, if you set an intention, like maybe you'd like to set an
See? Oh, it's squeaky.
your chair, you better sit still. Your chair's really annoying. If you set an intention, like I would like to, maybe there's a question that you have in your head or in your mind. Like, what's the right path for me job wise? Or what could be, can you get a different chair? That is so really annoying.
I told you. It was the
Seisha
only
has
time,
one.
and you
Seisha
told-
has
and
one.
You told me that it wasn't, and I was like, every time I even breathed, it was
I'm sorry, you guys. Maybe it's maybe you'd like better relationships or more clarity in an area. So just think about it. Or maybe my one constant request every time I do this meditation is for peace. Peace in myself, peace in all those around me, and peace. Because I know that if everyone's at peace, then we won't have half the conflicts that we have, right? So that's one conscious thing I bring to mind. Peace in my life, peace all around me, peace for those I love, peace for my family and friends, peace for all of you, peace for the world. But peace can be broad, right? But sometimes if I'm especially if I'm conflicted at anything, like should I quit that job? Should I keep that job? Or anything like that, I bring it to mind. I just say, please give me some clarity in this. Night, Jen, please, or whatever it could be. You decide what it is. Or maybe you would like a closer relationship with the divine, or maybe you'd like a closer relation. Anything that you want to bring to mind. Bring it to mind now. The only thing is you can't say, I want an answer right this minute. I mean, you can say that, but it may not come in the form you want it, and it may not come right this minute. Oh my God. Jamie, can you get this person, this troll? I think I did, but I don't know. No, I didn't. Ugh, this is so ridiculous. I'm sorry. You guys, we got a ridiculous troll here. Let me just deal with him for like 2 seconds, if you don't mind. You know, you guys, this is an old lady crafting group. You guys are ridiculous.
What do they get out of doing that?
I don't know. They're just dumb. Just give me a second. So bring to mind whatever it is that you want to bring to mind. It's so stupid. You're blocked? How are you blocked? I mean, I got rid of him for a minute, but you're blocked from what? Oh, I reported him, and it's just so stupid. Can somebody tell me like what somebody even gains from that? It's so ridiculous. Okay, let's get started. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Receive and release. Receive and release. Imagine yourself in a column of light. You look up, you can't see the end, and you look down, you can't see the end. This is your column of light. It is unique to your being, soul, spirit. Allow your column of light to enter deep, deep, deep into the earth. Give your column of light the direction, heart of the earth, and your column of light is right there, deep in the heart of the earth. Give your column of light the suggestion, heart of the earth. And with that, your column of light is right there. Give your column of light big tree roots like oak roots. Allow your column of light to anchor itself deep, deep, deep with these roots into the heart of the earth. Let's ask the earth to share with us her energy. I see this like beautiful golden light, but you can see it, feel it, think it, or just know it any way that works for you. Feel this beautiful earth energy rising up through your column of light. Feel it filling your feet and ankles, calves and knees, thighs and hips. Feel it filling the base of your spine, your lower abdomen, your waist. Feel it filling your chest and back, your arms, your shoulders, your neck. Feel it filling your forearms, your shoulders, your upper arms, your forearms, your wrist, and out every finger. Feel it filling your neck and throat, and your face and head. And feel it fountaining out the top of your head as high as you can imagine. Ready? Breathe it in. Breathe it in. And breathe it in. Take a moment to enjoy your connection to the earth. Now let's give your column of light above your head the suggestion: heart of the divine, heart of the central sun, heart of creator creation energy. And with that, your column of light is right there, deep in this beautiful divine angelic realm. Give your column of light the same roots above your head as you did below your feet. Allow your roots to anchor into this beautiful cosmic divine realm. Now let's give our body personality permission and ask to receive the energy from this beautiful divine realm. I see this like beautiful silvery diamond light, but you can see it, feel it, think it, or just know it any way that works for you. Feel this beautiful diamond light energy mixing with your golden earth energy and your light and spreading 6 feet in all directions. Feel it filling your head and face, your throat and neck, your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your hands, and out every finger. Feel it filling your chest and back, your waist, your lower abdomen, the base of your spine, and feel it pouring through your hips, thighs, knees, calves, and ankles, and pouring out the bottom of your feet, expelling any and all excess deep into the heart of the earth. Now take a moment to enjoy your connection to heaven and earth. Now I'd like you to focus on your heart. Allow your attention to fill this space, this energy center in the center of your chest. Now I'd like you to see a window there, and I'd like you to open the window. So as we continue through this meditation, anything that no longer serves you, see it leaving through this window. You can see it like smoke. So on the inhale, I want you to breathe in and ask your body personality to call the pieces and the parts of you that you've allowed to leave from all time and space. Breathe that fully and completely back into yourself, along with peace, love, and bliss. And on the exhale, release anything that doesn't work for you. Ready? Receive in love. Release in love. Receive and release. Receive and release. Receive and release. Let's add 2 more points of light. Let's add the point of light in your throat and the one in your waist. Breathe in, receive. Ask your body personality, give it permission to call all of the pieces and parts back into you that you've allowed to leave for whatever reason. And also breathe in and receive peace, bliss, and love. Receive in love, release in love. Receive and release. Receive and release. One more time. Call your pieces and parts back into these 3 energy centers. Receive and release. Let's add 2 more points of light. Let's add the point of light in the center of your forehead and the one in your lower abdomen. We're focusing on your lower abdomen, your waist, your heart, your throat, and in the center of your forehead. Give your body personality permission to call back in and receive completely and fully all the pieces and parts of you that you've allowed to leave. And on the exhale, let go of anything that no longer serves you. Ready? Receive in love. Release in love. Receive and release. Receive and release. Receive and release. Let's focus and add 2 more points of light. The point of light at the top of your head and the point of light at the base of your spine. Give your body personality permission to call all of you back in. Also receive peace, love, and bliss. And on the exhale, release anything that no longer serves you. Ready? Receive in love. Release in love. Receive and release. Receive and release. Add 2 more points of light. 1 foot below your feet and 1 foot above your head and all the points in between. Give your body personality permission to receive and to recall all of the pieces and parts of you that you've allowed to leave for whatever reason. And on the exhale, release anything that no longer serves you. Also receive love, peace, and bliss. Ready? Receive in love. Release in love. Receive and release. Receive and release. Add 2 more points of light. 6 feet above your head and 6 feet below your feet, and all of the points of light in between. Breathe in and receive peace, love, and bliss, and call all of the pieces and parts of you back into your being, soul, spirit that you've allowed to leave for whatever reason. Ready? Receive in love, release in love. Receive, release. Receive and release. Add 2 more points of light. The point of light where your roots are above you in the central sun, the heart of creation, the heart of the divine, and the point of light below your feet in the heart of the earth, and all of the points of light in between. And receive peace, love, and bliss, and call yourself fully and completely back into your being, soul, spirit. Now, receive in love, release in love. Receive, release, receive, and release. Receive and release. I want you to bring to mind whatever that intention you had earlier. Also, let's bring to mind peace on earth, peace in the Ukraine, peace in our lives. And bring to mind any loved ones you think you could use this loving, gentle energy. And as you breathe in, receive it for yourself. And as you exhale, send it out. Ready? Receive in love. Release in love. Receive. Release. Receive. Release. Receive. And release. And one more time. Receive and send. I'd like you to imagine an infinity symbol starting in your roots above your head, crossing through your heart, entering deep into your connection where your roots are into the earth, crossing back through your heart and ending where it began. On the inhale, receive love from the central sun, the heart of creator creation energy, the heart of the divine, and the heart of the earth. And on the exhale, give back love, the heart of the earth, the heart of the central sun, the heart of the divine, the heart of creator creation. Ready? Receive in love and give in love. Receive and give. Receive and give. Receive and give. One more time. Receive and give. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back. Well, I hope you girls have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out with me. And maybe we'll be able to do some junk journaling again soon. And, I'll add the pages. I'll get them all together and we can sew some signatures in together if you guys are up for that. And I will be live on Friday night. You're welcome, girl. Know that this meditation, the energy stays alive no matter what. And so you can come back and listen to it again and again. I even come back and do it too. And so I'll see you guys back here on Friday night. And know that I love you. And as always, you're in my heart. I love you, girls. See you again next time. Good night. Yeah, I had some guy